Hurricane Idalia is moving northward at 14 miles per hour with winds now of 85 miles per hour, which is a Category 1 hurricane with a pressure of 976 millibars. As you can see here on the IR satellite imagery, there is a eye wall starting to form around the center of the storm. You can even see the eye starting to clear out there as the cloud tops are going down. It is even visible on the true color. You can see that nice convective burst as the sun came over the storm this morning, and that eye starting to clear out right there as there's a dip in the cloud coverage. GFS model for this storm currently shows a landfall with 955 millibars, which is west of the typical track that is expected for the storm, as it makes landfall just east of Tallahassee as what is anticipated to be a Category 3 storm at the time of landfall according to the GFS model. The spaghetti models are slightly less high on the storm, as they only show a Category 2 landfall for the system, although the NHC, the GFS, and including myself believe this will be a Category 3 storm at landfall. Peak surge has increased for this storm all the way up to a potential 15 feet of storm surge for this bend area right here, up to 4 to 7 feet in Tampa Bay, 1 to 3 feet in 3 to 5 feet in Tallahassee, and 7 to 11 in Yankstown, and 6 to 9 feet in Chassahowitzko. There is even storm surge of up to 4 feet possible for the entire coast of Georgia and most of the southern Carolina's coast. Even storm surge extending all the way up into North Carolina expected. Current track for this storm staying pretty consistent, expected to hit that bend. Like I said, the GFS is expecting a slightly more eastward landfall and before it curves out. And a lot of the models, including the GFS, show once the storm dies, the low-level center will actually loop back around and try to reform in the Gulf. Although right now there's not a lot of support for it reforming, but it is expected to curve back into the Gulf. NHC warnings right now, still a hurricane warning in effect for Cuba, although the major impacts for Cuba are long gone. The Florida Keys under a tropical storm warning, and the far west islands of the Florida Keys are currently experiencing tropical storm force winds, and the entire central Florida coast is covered in a hurricane warning, as it is expected to make landfall with 120 mile per hour winds on 8 a.m. Wednesday by the NHC. It is expected to make it up to Georgia late on Wednesday and reemerge off the coast early on Thursday before recircling out and potentially even looping back. Like I said, 22 counties in Florida have issued mandatory evacuations, and the government has finally called for aid and a national emergency in Florida, as this storm is expected to be very intense at the time of landfall. Rainfall expected for this storm is 6 to 10 inches for most areas, including Tallahassee, and up to 6 inches in places like Tampa Bay, which could lead to a lot of flash flooding, which is why there is a large chance of flash flooding all the way up in North Carolina. So even though the winds might not be as strong for the Carolinas, there is expected to be a moderate chance of flash flooding all the way up, even into Virginia. There is a slight chance of flash flooding. So just because you are not in the impact zone of Florida does not mean you will not get severe impacts from this storm. Sea surface temperatures, of course, are very high for this storm. Record high temperatures in the Gulf right now, which is one of the reasons the storm is expected to rapidly intensify. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on Idalia, and stay safe.